her place in the front row. The men stop talking about their exploits in the war as curiosity gets the better of them. Who is this old lady dressed in black, sat in the middle of all these great men and heroes? Underneath her hat, the woman's eyes are like steel, but she allows herself a smile as the men's conversation turns to her. Eventually, with curiosity getting the better of him, an American officer leans in towards her and says, "Excuse me, ma'am, but who are you, and why are you here?" The old woman says nothing. She simply stands up and removes her coat. The dignitaries' mouths drop open in shock. This old lady has a chest full of medals like nothing they've ever seen before. Medals for bravery. The officer stammers, Excuse me, ma'am, I meant no offense. You have obviously shown your bravery on the battlefield. Can you tell me your story?" The old lady smiles, and her eyes appear younger as she says, "Well, gentlemen,
gather round. Let me tell you of the times when women like me were not allowed to fight for our country and our freedom. But I did, anyway.
In November 1914, Austro-Hungarian troops invaded Serbia. They have reached the Kolubara River. The elite Serbian Iron Regiment are one of many valiantly defending their homeland from the foreign invaders. The Iron Regiment's assault bomber squad of shock attack troops has a commander that's tough, battle-hardened, and a fierce fighter. Milunka Savic, a woman in a man's uniform, has proven again and again her bravery and determination. Her expertise with grenades makes her a match for any man, and she is both feared and respected. The Serbs are outnumbered and overwhelmed, and despite the pleas from her comrades, she decides to cross no man's land. Armed with a rifle and 3 bandoliers of grenades, she's determined to take the fight to the enemy.
And a place among the stars, and she served the Iron Squadron, served the top
After the battle, the new commander of the Iron Regiment asked in front of the regiment, "Which soldier or non-commissioned officer deserves the highest military decoration of Serbia, the Order of the Star of Karađorđe, for their part in the Battle of Kolubara?" A cry went up among the men.
Milunka.
Milunka Savic. Milunka Savic. Milunka Savic. Milunka, the Lady of the Dark. Milunka was informed in hospital of the award. She quickly returned to the front lines. This was just the start of her career. Milunka Savic became the most decorated woman soldier in history, with medals from several nations for her bravery. Milunka Savic, Lady of the Dark, bomber of Kolubara, and the most decorated woman in history, finished her days living a quiet life in Serbia and passed away in 1973. It's January 1917, and in an airfield, a young pilot is directing men to paint his Albatross fighter. Other pilots look on in awe. This young pilot with 16 victories to his name is the new commander of Yasta 11. It contains many elite and legendary pilots, but none can compare to this young man, stood bolt upright. He knows he is better than anyone else out there. The work is done. The plane stands in all its scarlet Teutonic glory. The pilot is Manfred von Richthofen, and on this day, the day he chose to paint his plane bright red, it is the birth of a new name, a legendary name that will never die, the Red Baron. Success after success came to Yasta 11 under the Red Baron's tutelage. Richthofen had been a student of a genius aviation tactician named Oswald Bolka. Bolka's dictates were the essential rules for successful air combat. Richthofen embraced them, taught them, and enhanced them.
How can I be like you?
Aim for the man, and don't miss him. He urged his men to fight on and fly on, to the last drop of blood and the last drop of fuel, to the last beat of the heart. Richthofen and his Yasta 11 would become the nemesis of the Royal Flying Corps. The Yasta 11 in the heavens would seem like gods or demons to those on the ground. Stuck in the mud and the trenches, seeing the red whirling beast spitting fire overhead, the Germans whispered his name in awe, Der Rote Kampfflieger. The Allies whispered it in equal fear and awe, the Red Baron. But there was one thing that all sides agreed upon. He was the king of the sky.